Okay, let's start. What's the first question? Dinesh was trying to make Vikas by heating a solution of water and sugar and evaporating the water. The mass of the solution is 3 kg, which contains 90% water and 10% sugar by mass. After some time, he finds that the solution contains only 85% water. This should be just because of the evaporation process. Okay. What will be the mass of the final solution? Okay. It's given that initially the total mass was how much? 3 kg. It will have some sugar and some water. It contains 90% water and 10% sugar. So sugar should be 0.3 kg and water should be remaining 2.7 kg. After some time, just because of the evaporation, what will happen? After some time, he finds that solution contains 85% water. Now, what will happen? Out of this 0.3 kg sugar, 0 kg will evaporate and some kg of water will evaporate. So, how much water is left? 2.7 minus x, and how much sugar is left? 0.3. And it's given that it contains 85% water finally. So if it contains 85% water, that means the remaining 55% of the new weight must be equal to sugar. And we know that sugar left after evaporation is 0.3 kg. And this must be equal to 15% of the final solution. So when you solve it, what do you get? Final solution is equal to 2 kg. Because only water will evaporate. Sugar will not evaporate. So your answer is second option. Let's move on to the next one. On a particular day, due to increase in the price of petrol by 10%, there's a drop of 10% in the number of customers buying it. And those customers buy 10% less petrol also as compared to the previous day. Find the percentage change in the revenue received by the petrol pump on that day compared to the previous day. Assume that each customer buys equal quantity of the petrol in a single day. So can we say the revenue will depend on what? The number of customers, then the quantity and the price. The product of these three values will give you what? The total revenue generated on any particular day. Now let's say the initial revenue was N, number of customers were N, and quantity taken by them was Q liters, and the price per liter was P rupees. Now what happened next day? Let's say new revenue is R dash must be equal to number of customers. Now how many customers were there? It's given that there is a drop of 10% in the number of customers. So we can say that now the number of customers will be 0.10 and what was the change in the quantity? Quantity also decreases by 10%. So they'll buy zero point 0.9 Q liters. But there was a rise in petrol, price of petrol. By how much? 10%. So it should be 1.1 times of P. And when you multiply them, what will you get? 0.81, that is 0.9 into 0.9 into 1.1 into N into Q into P. This must be equal to the new revenue. So what you will get? New revenue is equal to 0.891. When you multiply this, what you will get? 0.891 of what? N into Q into P. Now N into Q into P was what? The previous revenue. So we can see the relationship between new revenue and the previous one. New revenue is 0.891 times of R. What does it mean? It's only 89.1% of the previous revenue. So there was a drop of how much percent? 10.9%. So I can say that there will be a decrease of 10.9% in the revenue. It's a simple question based on the successive changes. What's the next one? Average age for team including the coach is 18 years and without the coach is 16 years. If the age of the coach is 58 years, then find the number of players in the team. Let's say the number of players are n, and when you include the coach, it becomes n plus 1. When there were n players, only n players, at that time the average age is how much? 16 years, and including the coach the average age is 18. So if I ask you what is the total age of these 16 players, you will say number of players are n, average 16, so the total age should be 16n. What is the total age of players and coaches? You will say n plus 1 into 18. So this is the age of all the players including coach, and this is the age of all the players excluding coach. When you take the difference of these two values, you'll get the age of the coach, which is already given equal to how much? 58. So this will give you 18n plus 18 minus 16n is equal to 58. 16n, 18n. Difference will give you how much? This will give you 2n plus 18 is equal to 58. After solving this, we'll get n equal to 20. That means there were 20 players in the team. So my answer becomes what? First option. Let's look at the next one. The manufacturing cost of an article was 1230. This was the manufacturing cost. The trader wants to gain 35% after giving a discount of 18%. What is the mark price? Now the mark price is not given here. He wants to gain 35%. So gain should always be calculated on this price. So he'll try to sell it at what price? 1230 is the price for him. He wants to gain 35%, so he'll increase the price by 30%, 35% and sell it. So I should multiply these two numbers. And I also know that this is what? Selling price. Let the mark price be X. And he offered a discount of how much? He offered a discount of 18%. So he'll sell it at what? 92% of what? Mark price. This is also selling price and this is also selling price. So after solving this, what you will get? The value of X, which is marked price. This becomes 0.92. I hope this is clear to everyone. Let's move on to the next one. Buys a radio with 50% discounts on its market price. 50% discount means half of the price. He makes a profit of 10% by selling it at a price of 550. Selling price is 550 and the profit percent is 10%. So directly I can say that cost price should be equal to 500 because 10% of 550, which was a profit. Now he purchased the radio at 500 rupees and he got a discount of 50%. That means he purchased the radio at half of the cost, half of the mark price. So in that case, mark price must be equal to 1000. So my answer becomes second option. Next one. The ratio of the number of balls in two bags A and B is 17:11. If 30 balls are taken out from the bag A and is dropped in bag B, the number of balls in each of the two bags becomes same. Can we say initially bag A was having 17 X balls and in bag B there were 11 X balls. If you take 30 balls out of this, they'll go into bag B. And after that, the number of balls will become same in both the bags. So we can equate it. 11X comes on this side, 17X minus 11X will give you 6X, which is equal to 60. So X must be equal to 10. Now what's the question? The number of balls in each of the two bags now is X10. When you put X again here, 170 minus 30 will give you 140. So the number of balls will become 140 here. It was a very easy question. Next one. Two vessels A and B of capacity 20 liters and 24 liters contain solution of rum and water in the ratio of 5:3 and 1:5. If the total volume of both the vessels is transferred to another vessel, then what will be the final ratio between the rum and water in the new vessel? Let's talk about the first vessel A. It will have some rum and some water. It contains rum and water in the ratio of 5:3. So rum becomes 5/8 of 20 and water will become 3/8 of 20. This is rum, this is water. In vessel B, rum, water. It contains rum and water in the ratio of 1:5. So rum must be 1/6 of 24 and water should be 5/6 of 24. When you solve it, what you'll get? This 4 into 2, 4 into 5, you'll get 12.5 liters here. And the remaining 7.5 would be the water. Similarly, if you solve it, what you'll get? 4 liters of rum out of 24 liters. That means there should be 20. So finally, the new vessel will have how much rum? 12.5 plus 4, that is 16.5. And the remaining will be water, that is 7.5 plus 20, 27.5. decimal will be removed from here. When you cancel it out, you will say 5 into 3, then 5 into 3. This will give you 5 into 5, 5 into 5. Finally, you will get 3 is to 5. So the answer should be third option. Again, this was a very easy question. Okay, let's move on to the next one. It's a question about mixtures and irrigation. Vessel A has 6 liters of alcohol and vessel B has 6 liters of water. Vessel C is filled with the alcohol of vessel A, that means initially it was empty. Now the capacity of vessel C is not given here. And then the entire quantity of C is poured into B. Then vessel C is again filled with the mixture of vessel B and poured into A. Finally, the ratio of alcohol to water in vessel A becomes 4:1. Then find the volume of vessel C. Okay, this is vessel A, vessel B, vessel C. We have some alcohol, water, alcohol, water, alcohol, water. Initially, there was 6 liters of alcohol, 0 water. This was 0 alcohol, 6 water, and this was 0 and 0. Now, let's say the capacity of C is X liters. Now, what I did, vessel C is filled with the alcohol of vessel A, and then the entire quantity of C is poured into B. C is filled with alcohol vessel A. So look, if the capacity of C is X liters, and if you look at all the 4 options, they are less than 6. So capacity of C should be less than A. So out of this 6 liters, I'll take X liters out. So how much alcohol will be left in A? 6 minus A. And how much alcohol will be there in C? It's X. Water 0. Now this quantity was poured into B. Initially alcohol in B was 0. Now you'll get X liters of alcohol. So the total alcohol in B becomes X and water becomes 6. After that, again vessel C is filled with the mixture of B. Now what's the capacity of C? X liters. So I need to take X liters out of this. When you take X liters out of this, it will have some water and some alcohol. In what ratio? Same ratio. So how much alcohol will be transferred here? I'll say X into X upon X plus 6. This much alcohol will be transferred. And how much water will be transferred? X into 6 upon X plus 6. Now this quantity was again transferred into vessel A. This is finally the ratio of alcohol to water in vessel A becomes 4:1. 4:1 means what? There will be 4 parts of alcohol out of 5 parts. And the capacity of A was 6. So how much alcohol will be finally there in the vessel A? 4/5 of 6. And we can write that also. How much alcohol was left in A? 6 minus 6. How much will be transferred from the vessel C? This much. So that's 6 minus x plus x into x upon x plus 6. This is the quantity of alcohol left finally in vessel A, and this is already given equal to 4/5 of 6. So after solving this, we will get the value of x, and I believe it comes out to be 1.5 liters. So the correct answer becomes first option. I hope this was clear. Next one. 7 years ago, at the time of their marriage, the average age of a man and his wife was 28 years. 7 years ago, they got married. At present, they have 2 children. Their daughter is 2 years older than their son. 1 year after the birth of the daughter, the average age of the man, wife, and their daughter was 21 years. It's not given that the daughter was born after how many years of their marriage. Let's assume that the daughter was born after X years of their marriage. So initially, their average age was 28 when they got married. After X more years, the daughter was born. So at that time, the age of family, average age of couple would be 28 plus X. And after 1 more year, a daughter was born. 1 year after the birth of daughter. At this point of time, the daughter was born, and the average age after 1 more year is given. So by that time, the couple average age will be 28 plus X plus 1. Since they are couple, I need to multiply it by 2 to get the total age of husband and wife. And at that time, the daughter must be 1 year old. So the average age of these 3 members must be equal to this much. And this is already given equal to 21. So what I'll get here? 28 plus x plus 1 into 2 plus 1. When you multiply it here, 28 into 1 plus 28, 29. 29 into 2, 58 plus 1, 59 plus 2x is equal to 21 into 3 will give you 63. So 2x is equal to 63 minus 59 is 4. X becomes how much? 2. What does it mean? The daughter was born 2 years after their marriage, and we are talking about 7 years ago. That means right now the age of daughter should be how much? 5 years. So daughter must be 5 years old. Sorry. Daughter must be 5 years old, and he's asking the son age of son. So son should be 3 years old because daughter is 2 years older to their son. So the correct answer becomes third option. A candidate can do a piece of work in 6 days while B can do the same job in 8 days. Their wages per day are rupees 120 and 80. They work on alternate days on the job. What is the minimum amount that needs to be paid as wages for getting the work done? Assume if a person works even for a fraction of a day, he has to pay the wage of the whole day. They're working on the alternate days, but it's not given that who's going to start the work. So we'll have to make two cases. First case, when A will start. Okay, let's try to solve this question using the LCM method. 6 and 8, the LCM should be 24. So I'll assume that 24 units of work is there. And I'll assume that who's going to start the work? A. A can do 24 units in 6 days. That means his 1 day's work should be 4. B's 1 day's work should be 3. So A will start the work. He'll do 4 units. Then B will do 3. Then again A. Then B. Then A. Then B. That makes how much? 21. Then again A will get the turn. He'll do the remaining 3 units of the work. So you need how many days? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. And out of these 7 days, A will work for how many days? 4 days. First, third, fifth and 7 days. So the total amount paid to A will be 4 into 120. And for 3 days, B will get how much? 3 into 80. This gives you, this is 480 plus 240. 480 plus 240 will be 720 rupees. This is the case when A starts the work. What if B starts the work? This whole process will become reverse. 3 plus 4 plus 3 plus 4 plus 3 plus 4. This will give you 21. Last day B will work. He'll do the remaining 3 units. So B will work for how many days? 4 days. So he should get how much? 4 into 80. And A will work for 3 days. So 3 into 120. This is 320 plus 360. This gives you how much? 680, which is less than this 720. So the minimum amount that needs to be paid as wages will become 680. So the correct answer becomes third option. I hope this is clear. Thank you.